right, you know that familiar sound. Here we are again, people. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for choosing Tarot Illumination. This is you, Cancer. This is Tarot Illumination, and this is your broad spectrum Journey of the Heart reading for November 2018. I know it's not a very popular playlist, but I don't really care. We might drop it, I don't know. There's a lot more of you who are interested in love and relationship, but I feel that this is so important for all of us. That's why I do this. That's why I offer this for you. Anyway, cards are well shuffled in advance, but we're going to come back to that in a moment. I want to share with you my Tarot Illumination Astro Doodles. There's the thing about November is that it's a month of big changes. There's been a lot of stressors going on, particularly the Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, Leo axis. It's been very stressful for them. It still is stressful. If you go deep into the charts, you will see what I'm talking about. But for now, tonight, or today, or afternoon, whatever it is, or the morning for you, whatever it is, we're just going to go through the basics. Just basically calendar moments. Please mark your calendars. November the 2nd, roughly. For a moment, we have an amazing, beautiful grand trine, just for a few days. Saturn, Moon, and Uranus, all in Earth, Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus. It's beautiful. Take advantage of it, okay, Cancer? Next, November 7th, the new moon in Scorpio. Woohoo, that's good for you. Next, Uranus goes retrograde into Aries for 3 months. That's tough. That's action, replay, rewinds of all the stuff you've already lived through in that part of your life. Oh, ugh. But it's worth it. And next, the North Node moves into Cancer. This is kind of epic stuff, okay? We're not going to get into this now, but it is very pertinent to all Cancerians, but it's also for the whole planet, all right? Next, November 10th, Jupiter moves into Sagittarius. This is the big event of the month, okay, for everybody. It's a new global journey. It's a one-year journey that we're starting on November 10th. We'll get into it in a second. November 17th, Mars moves into Pisces, okay? Mercury goes retrograde Sagittarius, and at the same time Venus goes direct in Libra. Interesting. Okay, November 22nd, Sun moves into Sagittarius, lighting up, and with the full moon, basically lighting up the Jupiter ingress. Okay, so it's double duty, heavy duty Sagittarius energy there. And just a day later, we got the full moon. Okay, Moon in Gemini, Sun in Sagittarius. So how does that look? Well, for you Cancerians, it's sort of like this. I hope you can get something out of this. I'll put it through very gently. I'll do it like this, very, very, very gently. And then you can watch through on the action, replay, rewinds, however you want to do it. These are very messy personal notes. We don't have thousands of dollars of astrology software here. Sorry. Anyway. The big one, let's just get to it. Jupiter moving into Sagittarius, okay? That's for you here in your 6th house of healthy habits, work, chores, tasks, service, just getting stuff done, doing the practical stuff that has to be done. And when Jupiter moves there, this is going to be very, very healthy for you in expanding and improving your health habits, especially more than anything else. That's my feeling here at Tarot Illumination. So be grateful for this. Please work with this. Mercury's going to go retrograde in Sagittarius later, but, we're used to that. Mercury flips every 3 months or so, every 4 months or so. So anyway, it's happening. Back to the beginning. November 7th, okay? That's the new moon in Scorpio over here in your 5th house. This is your 5th house over here. Creative self-expression, true love, romance, falling in love, being alive, being happy, radiating, shining your light, artistic expression, musical, theatrical, writing, all those forms of creative self-expression. Business is a form of creative expression, okay? That's all lighting up for you over here. Beautiful, juicy Scorpio energy, very complimentary for you, Cancer, okay? So get ready. It's happening on November 7th for you. Those are the big things. Mars moves into Pisces over here, which is very harmonious for you, which is sweet. Thank you very much. Let's leave all the rest of this for now. I just wanted to get you a glimpse of what's going on. Sorry, we're going to keep shuffling. We have the more shuffling to do. I like the deck to be super hyper clear. Okay, and so please bear with me. With no jumpers, no flyers, no oracles, no reversals. There's no room, there's no time. Please watch for your sun and moon and rising, especially if they're all different. And then, basically reinterpret the whole story to suit yourself. Also, when we're doing this, it really helps to expand the value of the reading by inviting your invisible friends, your angels, archangels, guardians, and all of it. Okay, please do so. That's what we do here at Cancer, at Tarot Illumination. Tarot Illumination is heavily supported by angels. Just letting you know. So bless these cards. Bless this deck. This deck has done thousands of readings and it's still going strong. Even now, here for you, Cancer. Okay, we're going to cut it up. Keep it very even tonight. As you can tell, we're working through the night. Okay, there we go. So, heart energy, at the very, very core of you. You've got all these chakras and so on. You're living through your brain. You're trying to get your kundalini rising. Okay, wow. Super duper. But if you don't have this sorted out, the rest of it doesn't matter. The heart is the core, okay? And the heart works so hard for you, Cancer. It, pumps all the nutrients where they need to go, removes all the wastes, and puts them where they need to go. The closer that you are in alignment with your heart energy, the richer and happier and more luscious and abundant your life will be, the more you will be living in the moment, in the now, which is where all joy lies. Over here, the legacy, the energy of legacy. Where have you been? Where have you coming from? What's in your wallet? What's in your resume? What have you got to show me on your clipboard? What's happening, Cancer? Over here, the ever-present now. Now, Cancerians, sometimes you guys struggle with this because you can be so prone to dwell in the past and use that as a template for projecting to the future, and it leaves you, diminished in the now. This is where your power lies, right here in the now. And yeah, it's so much more comfortable to dwell on the past and projecting to the future. But the thing about being present in the now means having to be fully grounded, conscious, present in here, and dealing with things exactly as they are, the realities of your world, which includes your deepest thoughts and feelings. Okay, it's not just your cars, your mortgages, your college, your school, your day jobs, your partners, your kids, and your chores and responsibilities. It's much more than that. It is in the now, here, where you own your power and you execute your power through the healing power of your decisions. The most important decisions is to love thyself. What does this look like? What do we have to understand here? And in so doing, how do we actually get this to work? So it actually becomes like a process that you can implement in your life so that you can create outcomes so that you don't have to live by fate and blame everything else on the planet where you're living your whole life. You're outsourcing all of your decisions to something or someone. And instead, you own your life. You're co-creating with the energy of the planets, the energy of heaven, and all the resources around you. No apologies for loving thyself. What does it look like when you screw up and you say, you know what, TL, that's BS. Life is already fated. I'm doomed. I already know it. So, yeah, if you want to live that way, fine. On the other hand, what is it like when you actually get in the zone? You realize, wow, I do have options. I can make choices. Even in the toughest conditions, I can choose to love myself and be happy. What does that look like? Same energy. One is the inverse of the other. Over here, prospects and momentum. Okay, for the next beat. It never stops until the day you drop. Okay, over here, circumstantial energy, environmental influences, the weather, King of Pentacles. So my feeling here with the King of Pentacles is that this might be a reflection of you. Like you, Cancer, need to look around you and realize how incredibly lucky you are, how good a job you've already been doing, and to just keep doing that. Gathering all your talents, gifts, and resources and optimizing them, making the best of them, exploiting every opportunity that comes your way and turning it into abundance. understanding more and more about like value and values, money and things and stuff, including your talents and gifts and the talents and gifts of those around you. And the thing about the beautiful energy about the King of Pentacles, if that's around you, it's an indication. My feeling is it's more about a reflection of you coming back to you. You know, when you look at the weather around you and you feel gloriously connected with it, and you think, you know what? Wow, this is sweet. This is good. And what you're actually doing is witnessing yourself. Okay, so I'm happy to see this for you. All right, what is the heart talking about over here? Okay, and celebration. So, Cancer, it might be that with all these big shifts coming on, these big changes that are happening, you might have already had a glimpse of it earlier in 2018. I think it was on that new moon, Cancer. It was just a tiny, tiny preview of what's happening in 2019, which is going to be kind of epic for Cancerians and Capricorns. And I feel over here that your heart is basically already primed and celebrating and not only enjoying the moment here of the sweet energies of the Pisces, Scorpio stuff, working very harmoniously with you, but also that you're getting a glimpse of big, big changes happening. I'm talking way beyond the spread of this little reading here for November. I'm feeling that this is something to do with the epic changes happening on a global scale, particularly in 2020. And you, Cancerian, because you are so vulnerable, you stand to gain so much by this. And if you don't get yourself fully aligned, if you do not put yourself in a position of physical mastery, Capricorn style, success style, worldliness style, then you lose out. But when you get into this zone and you start to understand the opportunities coming at you, it's cause to celebrate. And it's almost like your heart is saying, you know what, Cancer, we need to start getting ready now. We need to start the big coming out party of Cancer being awesome. The North Node and all of that stuff, it's time to celebrate. Start planning the party now, okay? Over here, especially with your loved ones, okay? Most especially the ones that you love and the ones who love you. Okay, what are you bringing in with you? Who knows? Okay, so there might be a bit of to come down to earth here from my enthusiastic feelings right now. My feeling is here that you're also coming and realizing that you have so much power available to you in terms of the phenomenon of decision making. I feel it's almost like you've never known how important it is in terms of our life and what it means to own your decisions, to be a decider, to be the decision maker, knowing that you have options. You can decide to do this, you can decide to do that, you can decide to not decide, which is to do nothing, which is a very Cancerian defensive, classic defense move, protective move. Like you have the right to shut down and just let, in other words, we know what crabs do. When there's danger present, they just shut down, they clam up, they toad up, they close up very, very tight. They become invisible and they have an exoskeleton, so they're almost indestructible from the outside, and then they wait for the dangers to pass. That is a decision. And then when the dangers pass, the Cancerians can decide, okay, what do I do now? Some of this or some of that, whatever. The moon intuitively guides you, okay? So I have a feeling you know that, and you're carrying that with you. And you're being very, very judicious, very, very cautious, and thoughtful and responsible with your decision-making faculties. And that was probably very, very hard stuff to learn. I think a lot of this is to do with something that I haven't even put on the charts here, but let's put it this way. Okay, here's you, all right, Cancer? Over here, I'm just going to do it on your chart. Just going to do it, all right? Here is Pluto, and here is Saturn, okay? Here's Pluto and Saturn. Very heavy-duty combination here, very serious pressure. And that's coming right at you from your 7th house of significant relationships, one-on-one, like marriage, like business contracts, anything to do with formalized, right in your face relationships with the significant others where there's nowhere to hide, okay? Where you can't walk around and, fluff around the edges. Like everything is at stake here. Everything is on the line here with this energy. And with the Saturn in Capricorn, the Pluto in Capricorn in your 7th house, that's a tremendous amount of pressure that's been on you for a long time, and it's going to stay there for years to come. Okay, this is going to be 2019 and 2020 and beyond. So please allow for that. And I think this energy here has been putting a constant, unrelenting pressure on you to upgrade what it means to be a Cancerian. Get in touch with physical realities. Become a master of the physical realities that Capricorn is demanding from you to be. This is almost like Capricorn energy here. The energy of business, the energy of money, reality, and getting it together, okay? And I think you're responding extremely well to the intense pressure. So let's have a look. What about the now? Okay, the Hierophant. So my feeling is that you're looking at life in a very serious manner now, kind of in a way that we just described here. You're starting to see things almost in a black and white, with that Scorpio energy ending up right over here. This is very harmonious and supportive for you. And the Scorpio energy is typically very intense, very black and white. I'm in or I'm out. It's a yes or a no. And it's putting pressure on you to learn more about what it means as a decider, as a decision maker. And with the Hierophant here, my feeling is that you're understanding that this is like an essential tool of life, a code of life. It's almost like what you're realizing, like, my gosh, it is the healing power of decisions that are absolutely fundamental to creating the outcomes that I need and want in life. And that is a code of practice. It's something that has to be learned and integrated into your being as a fundamental code, like a vow to yourself. It's like you're at the moment now of making vows to yourself to respect yourself and elevate yourself to the highest levels of self-respect and to yourself and from others as possible. And doing that by intense learning processes through significant one-on-one relationships and contracts, jobs, significant others, some way, shape, or form or another. Okay? And again, no apologies for this. This is very, very three-dimensional, down-to-earth stuff, creating codes and practices in your life about what works. So it's very, very strong energy here in the present moment now, and it's a very strong emphasis on the healing power of your decisions, because it is through your decisions that you catalyze your evolution. So we have here the 5 of Cups. So my feeling here is that, now you guys, you can interpret this however you want, but over here at Tarot Illumination, to me it feels as though it means for the Cancerian to mature and to grow and evolve, especially with what's happening with the Cancer North Node over the next 18 months. It means having to, when you're making decisions, having to face anything and everything that grieves you and hurts you and registers as you're in your deep gut and soul as pain, sorrow, grief, misery, depression, sadness, like the horrific feelings that we can feel when we lose a loved one. Okay, that has to be acknowledged inside of you, simultaneously having to acknowledge that it's not the end of the world, that life begins anew all day, every day, decision by decision, and new life, new love unfolds as we basically allow ourselves to grieve and move on and head forward and allow the love to flow again and accept these really like primal facts of life, that life moves on. Okay, life moves on anyway. Even though, with this intense energy here of birth, procreation, death, Okay, that Scorpio energy is very, very strong right now, and it's affecting you in this very vivid part of your chart where you really, really feel it in the fifth house. It's like comes out as vivid self-expression. You feel it deeply inwardly, and it comes out expressively, vividly. Okay, so it's like a very deep, strong connection with heart energy, and letting all the extremes of the sorrow and the joy speak through your decisions. Okay, so how do you do this effectively so you don't overwhelm yourself or others and you end up in a state of placidity and harmony and balance and joy? Okay, my feeling here is to, again, this is more kind of mental energy with the Page of Swords here, is to be very, very clear in understanding what it is that you are feeling. What are your feelings and how are they turning into conscious thoughts? Think of it this way. Your deepest guts first feelings turn into what you call thoughts. And those are often things that feel like words, and language turns into words, which can often turn into actions, which turn into outcomes, consequences, for better or worse. So my feeling here is to understand how much power is available to you through the faculties of decision making, and that when you're making decisions, there's a lot at stake. Every decision that you make, are you going to make lunch now or later? Are you going to pay your bills now or later? Are you going to get yourself in debt and stay in debt because it's easy? Or are you going to be really, really ultra responsible and ultra conservative in the way the Capricorn energy wants you to be and take responsibility? And so in doing that, it's like calling out the truth, being a truth vigilante to yourself. So when you're making these decisions and you're feeling it from the deepest gut levels, all your sorrows and grief and misery and the love that's still available to you, it becomes very, very clear in your mind before you make the decision. Understand exactly what the decisions are. Understand exactly the words, thoughts that are moving through your brain and how they're turning into words and the prospect of how they're turning into consequences. And then own that, because the truth vigilante here is basically out on a mission to basically hack away anything that is not true. So be very careful with this energy. Be very, very astute. Be very aware of the healing power of your decisions and the power in your decision making. Okay, generating consequences. Okay, so it might feel as though Terra Illumination is pushing you too hard and saying, "Come on, Cancer, you can do it." And with the Seven of Wands here, it might feel like, "Gosh, I don't know if I can handle all this." Terra Illumination, it's like you're setting me up here. You're like saying I'm more awesome than I really am. I don't know if I can really do all this. I'm just Cancerian, okay? Give me a break. I know I'm under a lot of pressure. I've got that thing that you were talking about over there. And then Terra Illumination says, calm down, calm down, calm down, Cancer. It's just one tarot reading for 1 month. And maybe we got carried away, but right now, this is an indication that you're not only doing well, but you're going to continue to do well against, a lot of challenges that might come your way. With the big shifts in energy, some of it's very nutritious for you, but some of it could also, because we're still going to grow and evolve, this energy here alone that we didn't even write about, but it's here, this alone is unrelenting pressure on you, which is forcing you to grow and evolve. And I think that's what's coming most prominently in this reading, even though the Jupiter and Sagittarius thing is a big deal, even though we've got the Scorpio new moon, what I'm feeling in this reading is it's very much about this deep down, heavy, heavy duty pressure on you from the opposition. Opposition, not in a bad way, but your opposite, like your spouse, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your employment contract, your business partnerships, your commitment to a significant other. You're handling it extremely courageously well, which can be very hard to do under such extreme, unrelenting pressure from the Pluto Saturn thing I mentioned. So what happens if you crack? and you just think, I can't handle it. I'm just a watery, mushy Cancerian mess. Okay, well, you end up, to me, it feels like you end up, almost like in a roadside ditch. You're wasting all the opportunity here. You're crumbling under the pressure and saying, I can't handle it. I can't handle it. I just want to hide and go away. The heart does not want that. The heart wants you to keep growing and going further and further than ever before. So when you get in the zone and you allow the deep, deep, deep core feelings that you have, Cancerian, to come to the surface more and more, clarify them, understand them what they are, and go from there, you can prevail, you will prevail, and in so doing, you become an enigma to yourself. You start to realize, like, wow, I really am that cool. I'm just going to tell you folks, over here on the monitor systems, it looks like everything's frozen, but I'm going to keep going anyway. I don't know what this means technically, and I'm going to keep going. So you become an enigma to yourself where you realize, okay, well, I'm just going to do it. I might not understand what to do or how to do it, but I'm going to do it anyway because Tarot Illumination said so. It's okay. It makes sense. And we're just going to go for it. All right. Thank you so, so much. It feels very weird. And I'm going to do this deliberately. I'm going to deliberately put myself outside of my comfort zone in order to evolve and grow. That is my choice, my decision. Okay. So prospects and momentum from there. See, it's all good. With the Page of Pentacles here, to my feeling is that's an indication that you're going to come out on the sweet side. You're going to start to learn what it's like to enjoy, it's almost like enjoy what it's like to become a Capricorn. I mean, that sounds very strange here in a Cancerian reading, but understand what you can do with your gifts and talents in a very, very methodical, business-like Capricorn, managerial, executive, boss type of perspective. So I think that's really good for you. I see this as really, really good. It happens to be coincidentally good because of the Pisces energy and the Scorpio energy. So you might as well take full advantage of it, okay? Thank you, Cancer. I hope you get something out of this reading. I'm not going to say anything more. I'm just going to stop it and hope that it all records properly. Bye-bye.